Guys, hold on my camera. I got a few things that you guys just absolutely need to know. All right, so the Sora app is the thing that people are using. Well, not app. People are using this like computer program called Sora, and that's how they're making all these AI videos. Well, Satan is considered the father of all lies and the father of deception. He is called the deceiver. Not just some lies, all lies. And so that's why you're supposed to take every thought captive and make it obedient to Christ in 2 Corinthians 10:5, is because Satan is capable of putting thoughts in your head, making you sound like your inner voice. But that thing that's the conscious is not your inner voice. That is Satan disguising himself. That's why a lot of times you'll hear uh, thoughts that like tear you down or talk bad about you, and those are called snares, and you're not supposed to speak those about yourself because it's trapping yourself. And all right, the connection between Sora also is in a game called Kingdom Hearts. The main character's name is Sora, and you go around fighting demons all the time. But in the beginning of the game, in the open scene, he falls from the sky as a star, which in the Bible, Jesus refers to Satan as having fallen like lightning. And Jesus, like in Sora, he falls from the sky like lightning. So, like fast. He falls fast and really hard. And he lands in the ocean. But the connection is the name of this app that people are being deceived thinking these AI videos are real. They're being lied to by Satan. And it just makes sense that the name is Sora because Sora fell like lightning in the game Kingdom Hearts. I played it growing up. It's not a game. It's not a good game. Satan made some things. Like Satan made a couple games and some other things like that you should not give your time to. And like you know how you lie to your kids at Christmas and tell them that this guy named Santa is gonna like show up and give them presents and stuff. That's a lie. That's from Satan. You should stop doing that. God, like Santa Claus's name is spelled with the same letters as Satan. That's not coincidence, and I'm backing it up right now. Satan is the father of all lies. Like that's a lie from Satan. Um, like you guys just don't understand. Like Satan is responsible for a lot of things that you guys don't give him credit for, and it just makes sense. I've heard a lot of people talk about Christmas being like demonic and stuff like that, but this is the connection. This is how you know for a fact it's from Satan because you're lying to your kids, telling them that this guy's gonna climb down the chimney and bring them presents and all this other stuff. But that's of Satan. Deception is of Satan. Um, Love you guys. Take everything captive. Make it obedient to Christ. If you can't make it obedient to Christ, then call on Christ. Ask him to tame the thing in your head, and he like there's so many things that aren't of God, like fear. God says He's not giving you a spirit of fear, but a power of God, a spirit of power, a spirit of love, and a spirit of self discipline and a sound mind. Yes, fear is not of God. Jesus even said, I believe in a Bible verse that says, I've read a bunch of translations. One of the translations says, Jesus said, fear is a man-made religion. You should not fear me. Um, and those who are not feared are not, or those who do fear are not establishing God's perfect love. God's mercies renew every day. God's mercy precedes like everything. It precedes hell. It precedes sin. Like God, um, God through the Holy Spirit, through one of the books, the 66 books that were inspired, not just inspired by the Holy Spirit, but written by the Holy Spirit, say, do not fear, do not worry, little flock, for it is God's pleasure to give you the kingdom of heaven. So all these things that Satan's saying to you, telling you that you're not going to go to heaven, that you're not a child of God, that you're going to be overcome, and like all these things, like it's not true. God doesn't say those things. God says God is going to give you the kingdom of heaven. He says even if you have control over the spirits and stuff, like some people don't know what a spirit is, like spirit of depression, spirit of anger, spirit of wrath, like all these things, spirit of fear, spirit of cowardice, which is spirit of fear. I call it spirit of Judah sometimes, even though I know it wasn't of Judah, and it's not of Judah. It was what Satan had done to Judah. Like I even believe that whenever Judah was trying to talk Jesus out of giving his life up, or maybe it was one of the disciples, but he spoke to him and he said, he rebuked him and called him Satan, like in the flesh, because it wasn't him. Satan was putting these ideas in his head, that Jesus shouldn't do these certain things. Whenever Jesus knew it was his mission, as the Son of God, to do these things for the world, not just giving himself to these people just so he could, just so they could kill him. It wasn't just like, oh well, I'm gonna give up and you guys can kill me or whatever. Jesus had a plan. It was not just metaphorical. It was so that people don't suffer from sin anymore. Like they don't suffer from the punishment of sin anymore. Like people were making sacrifices, tons of sacrifices back in the day, like just to appease God, to try and appease God, in place of how all their sins, because they thought was angry with them, and maybe he was, but Jesus laid down his life so that no one should have to make these sacrifices again. He saved the animals and he saved them, because all those animals that were having to be sacrificed no longer had to be. There's a Bible verse that says God doesn't even require a sacrifice. Yeah, like God doesn't need a sacrifice. He doesn't. That's killing some other harmless, innocent animal that doesn't doesn't deserve to die like that. I've seen a cow cry before because it knew it was going to die at the slaughterhouse, and I saw for the first time tears coming out of an animal's eye. I don't even like to eat meat anymore. There's other things that have protein. You don't have to eat meat just to get protein. I know it tastes good, but like their life is precious also, and the fact that they are conscious as well and have a spirit also outweighs the the pros of eating a food that comes from the sacrifice of an animal. Like all these people are telling you have to eat meat, you have to eat meat. Well, Adam and Eve ate from the garden. They didn't kill the animals back in the day and eat them. They just ate from the garden. You can't sit here and tell me that you have to have meat and you have to kill something else, another living being, just to survive. You can eat and get proteins from nuts, like fruit, cereal, like there's so many things. Cheese has beneficiary factors as well. Like a lot of y'all, like I know a lot of people have been told that they need to eat meat in order to survive. That's a lie. That's a lie from the devil right there. People back in the day not only lived for like within the span of 100 years, they lived hundreds of years. Like I believe it was Moses or Noah, one of the two, lived like to be like 200, 300 years. And I'm sure he didn't eat animals like the way they sacrifice them and eat them today. Like if he did, like I don't know, yeah. Like I wonder why not ask God how long Adam and Eve lived, before they partook of the forbidden fruit, and whether or not they ate animals. I don't know. Wait for an answer, even. I mean, take it straight from the mouth right here. Like you don't have to. You really don't have to.